This is lightningesl.com. My Job Diaries, Part 3. Let's say one day I was working a long time ago, fixing coffee machines, coffee, juice, and hot chocolate machines. I was called a service technician. Let's call this Service Technician 101. What does it mean by being a service technician? It simply means you have a certain amount of clients or customers take care of their equipment before, during, and after. Yes. Now my job, working for a coffee company in this case, was basically take care of coffee machines like it sounds. They also had juice machines and hot chocolate machines. You might be familiar with whipped chocolate machines, which is very, very good chocolate. And I worked on that a long time ago, which simply means I had to go into the customer's locations, fix the machine, make sure the chocolate is coming down through the spout properly, the temperature is correct, the mix is correct. At the same time, I was also working for a coffee company, which means also, is the coffee strong, is it weak, whatever the customer wants. Now, the key about being a technician is you have a certain amount of customers you must take care of, and in order to do that, you have to physically be there, that kind of thing. So being physically there, use your car or their car or whatever. And most times, the customer is supplied by a service vehicle, which is great. But again, you have to be trained properly. So in my particular case, I worked in a coffee company, and I was trained on the service bench, or workbench that is, to take care of machines. Luckily, I was trained properly by many people in the office and the factory. And many, many times, there were different kinds of machines I had to learn. We had certain coffee machine, for example, that used a piece of ceramic wafer. Now, ceramic is a type of glass. This is a very, very unique type of machine. The top of that little wafer, which was an inch square, the top of the wafer was always super hot. The bottom of the same square was very, very cold. Yeah. So in this way, the coffee company, which used concentrated coffee itself, they were able to have a frozen piece of coffee, in a sense, like a small wafer of it. And when necessary, it would heat up the actual wafer so that whatever's necessary would come through hot water, and there's your mix of coffee. Yeah. And at the same time, the frozen part of the coffee mixture was on top. So in both cases, in the same machine, you had hot and super cold. Bottom line, it was an incredible machine. The problem was, of this particular machine, was humidity. Humidity would kill the electrical connections within the machine and so on. So, as a technician, I had to make sure things were dry. When it comes to juice, taking care of things with juice, I had to make sure, now juice, when I'm talking about juice, I'm talking about cranberry juice, orange juice, any kind of a juice. The problem is insects. Yeah. Because when it comes to concentration of juice, you have juice plus a mixture. If you don't clean the machine, what happens? The mixture turns into like a cement. Yeah. And unfortunately, four-legged creatures as well as eight-legged creatures and so on have a habit of attracting to the sugar content of a juice. And many, many times as a technician, you have to clean the machine. So I was in many, many locations all throughout the Toronto area as a service technician, and I had to clean the machine. I was in major hotels, restaurants, dining room halls, major fine dining restaurants, colleges, universities, and so on as a technician. So one thing I loved about the particular job is they gave me, like I said, a company truck. I could take the company truck home. Yeah. So it was an incredible idea. Think about it. You don't have to use your own gas or pay insurance on the vehicles, which is serviced as well as maintained as well as insurance by the company you work for. That's a huge, huge benefit. And when it came to coffee, like I mentioned before, juice and hot chocolate, I did as well. And many times the clients were incredible clients, and such that if I'm working at a stadium, let's say Exhibition Stadium here in Toronto, I was allowed to be before the event, during the event, and after the event. So I saw mainly baseball, football, concerts, and so on. Because my job was to handle the situations before an event, during an event, and after. And many times I asked my boss, can I go, can I go? And these are major clients, therefore, yes, yes, yes. So, many times I'd go there and I'd act like a teacher in the actual session, in the kitchen, and help people learn how to work the machine. So that's one reason I love that type of job. But from that, I realized that I could handle a job and the Ontario size, not just as a technician here and there. So, an opportunity might have come along someday, and that's why I took that particular job. It was amazing, traveling around, and I had a lot of, basically, my territory was Yonge Street to the east. It was the 427 highway to the west, north to Bloor Street, and south to the lake. All the major hotels, restaurants, fine dining, and stadiums, and so on, sports, are located in that territory. And my job is to handle at least 9 service calls a day. 9 service calls meaning everything could be fine, but you're there to make sure things stay that way as a service technician. Sometimes it's very stressful because you are sometimes maintaining a machine, installing a machine, removing a machine, and so on. You have to coordinate that with the people who own the place, as well as managers and customers and so on. So sometimes to a lot of people it can be very, very difficult to handle this. But you must have, above all, very good people skills. It's more important people skills in this kind of situation than technical skills. It's true. It's very, very true. And if you can handle that, you can be a very, very successful and highly motivated service technician. This is LightningESL.com, my job diaries. Bye-bye.